What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be trying some new shit. January is like the driest month for makeup releases. Usually there are not a ton of new things coming out because most things get released around the holidays, and then January comes along and everybody's already burnt out, so there aren't really like a ton of new things happening. So I went to Ulta the other day and I wanted to take a look around and see if there was anything that I haven't tried before that inspired me, and I did find a couple of things, so I'm going to use those today. I picked up the Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette, which I didn't even really realize how striking the colors in this palette are until I saw it in person. So I picked it up and I'm going to create this eye look with it here today. I also picked up a pair of the Kiss Faux Mink lashes and a couple of the new NYX Candy Slick Glowy lip colors, along with a couple of new items that I got in PR. So I have two new Hyper Real Glow palettes from MAC. I am so pumped for these because Hyper Real Glow is my favorite highlight of all time. I'm gonna try this Tarte Rainforest of the C Volume 3 that I got in my BoxyCharm this month. And the icing on the cake for the day is I am going to try the Loreal Magic Root Cover Up as a spray-on faux freckle tool. I've had this for a while just sitting on my desk because I've been wanting to try this technique since I saw it, but I was a little bit nervous. I don't want to give you any spoilers for the video to come, but my fears were not unfounded. So this is just gonna be like a big fat conglomeration of me trying new things and also showing you how I got this eye look if you're interested in that. Before we get started, I want to just explain something. You may notice as I hold up products in this video that my hands are covered in cuts and bruises. I, as they say in the New York area, ate shit on a sheet of ice getting into the car last night, and I have cuts and bruises all over my hands as well as my bum. Just figured I should explain that because, I don't know, it's weird if I'm just like covered in injuries and you guys don't know why. We've got a lot of new stuff to try today, so I'm not gonna keep you here in this intro too long. But before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I would love to have you around for more videos. And also, don't forget to take one little quick second of your life and just hit like on this video, because that helps me out tremendously. I would super appreciate it, and it also lets me know that this is a type of thing that you want to see here on this channel, and that helps both of us. I think that's all I really need to explain before we get started, so let's zoom right in and get started trying out this new shit. I want to start with the eyes today, and the first item that I picked up the other day when I was at Ulta was a palette from Morphe, and I feel like I haven't seen a lot of hype for this particular palette, but I think the colors of this one are particularly interesting. This is the 35M Boss Mood palette, and I took one look at this and felt like, wow, that's actually something that I don't have another palette like. I think I want to do kind of like a color blocking type of a scenario today. I'm not quite sure yet, but I know that I want to start playing with these weird, what my husband referred to as exorcist greens. I've really been rethinking my hatred for greens lately. I don't know if I'm fully sold, but I definitely see the appeal. I'm going to start by going into this green shade here. This is called Stroke of Luck on a MAC 217 brush. And I'm going to start packing that through my crease. I'm gonna blend the edge of that out with a clean brush, and I'm not going to be super duper picky about how I feel like this blends out right now, because I primed my eyes differently than usual today, and I have a funny feeling that it's going to affect how these shadows work a little bit, so I'm gonna give them a little bit more leeway than I normally would, packing that a little bit on the outer corner as well. I'm also going to go into this slightly deeper shade here called Express Yourself. On a BH number 7, I'm just going to put that through my crease a little bit more concentrated just to deepen up the outer portion. I have like a weird patch going on, and I noticed that patch before I even started putting eyeshadow down. So I started trying the P. Louise base again because I tried it when I used the James Charles palette, and I didn't really like it that much. On any areas where my eyelids might tend to crease, it immediately creases up and like makes the shadows look a little bit uneven there. So, I don't know, I've been playing with it a little bit more. So today I tried using it and like setting the part that was in my crease, but I don't think that's working either. Okay, I'm trying so hard right now to get a good blend over this base, and I absolutely cannot. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and start this look over using my Urban Decay usual base in Eden that I always use, and see if we get a better result, because that's not cute. And I'm not going out like that, you know? Redid that first step over my regular base and it looks much better now. I don't think that this is the most perfect blend of my life. First of all, we're not done yet. And second of all, it's not bad. It's not patchy. Maybe he'd use a little bit more work, but we're gonna cover up most of this with other shadows anyway. I'm gonna go into the shade Pop Star here. It's a greenish shimmer on a flat shader brush. And I'm gonna wet that with a little bit of setting spray. On a MAC 221S brush, I'm going to go into the shade Nude Tude, which is an interesting name for that because it doesn't look nude at all. I'm going back into Stroke of Luck and just tapping that over the edge of that shimmer to blend it in with the greens. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shade Green with Envy, mostly just kind of tapping it into that space, not even really blending it too much. I'm going to take a little bit more of Stroke of Luck on a MAC 217 and just blend that up a little bit higher. For underneath the eyes, I want to do like an orangey tone, so just like the opposite of what's going on the top. I'm going to go into the shade Fired Up on my Luxie 121 mini brush, and I'm going to smoke out that lower lash line with that shade. On a pencil brush, I'm going to go into the shade Sparks Fly, deep brown. I'm going to use that to smoke out the outer corner on the bottom and connect that into the dark greens on the top. I may even just tap a little of that in the very outer corner of the top lid just to make that shape complete, and then we'll blend it out. So the eye look is pretty much done, and to be honest, after switching bases, I actually really like this palette. It's a shame that this palette didn't get more hype because it's pretty good. Just to finish off this look though, I want to dip into a palette that I got in my BoxyCharm this month. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette, and I have to say, I am so confused. How is this a palette? This is literally 8 inner corner highlight shades. There's not a single thing that you could do with this palette to make a complete look. It's just, I think it's impossible, honestly. I mean, maybe somebody can prove me wrong, but there's a one matte shade. It's here. It's barely my skin tone, so it's not even gonna deepen up on my pale ass. It's not deep enough for a transition on me. Who is this helping? I don't get it. But the truth is, I really like the formula of Tarte's shimmer shades usually, so I'm gonna use it to highlight my inner corner, which, honest to God, I really think is the only thing you can do with this palette. I don't understand. So I'm gonna go into the shade Treasure, which is the lightest shade here, and honestly, I think probably the most interesting one because at least it looks like it's not just a champagne beige. I'm taking that on a Luxie 141 brush and I'm trying it dry right on my inner corners. And as I suspected, it's actually a nice formula. I don't feel like I need to wet these shadows. They apply really nicely right from the brush. And like, I understand that not every makeup company is putting things together to cater to an audience who is really enthusiastic about makeup, really enthusiastic about color, and nude palettes are a necessity. But this is just shimmers. However, like I said, formula is real nice. It's very smooth, it's very pigmented, it's very bright. So I put on some mascara and I put on a new pair of lashes. These are from the Kiss Couture Faux Mink collection. They're $6.99 at Ulta. They are beautiful. That's what the box looks like. They are shockingly good. So the next thing I want to try out today, MAC sent over 2 new versions of the Hyper Real Glow palettes. Now, if you have watched my 2018's favorite video, you know that the original Hyper Real Glow palettes were my absolute favorite highlights for the entire year of 2018. So I'm like extra pumped that there are new shades. So this one is kind of like a peachy toned palette. It's called Shimmy Peach. Inside looks as so, very, very pretty, typical highlight shades, but this formula is absolutely divine. So we're excited to have this peachy version in our collection. The other palette is called Get Lit, and this has a little bit more of a non-traditional look to it. It has a more pinkish tone, a lavender tone, and this one that looks like an icy white on camera is indeed an icy white, but it also has a little bit of a blue shift to it. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my Nabla highlighting brush, which I'm still loving, by the way. And I'm gonna dip into the namesake shade here in the center, Get Lit, because I feel like lavender would be a pretty complement to this green eye look. Ooh. That's dreamy. Okay, that did not disappoint. I love that. It's like such an ethereal glow with just a little hint of lavender and pink to it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So before I add a lip, I want to try a technique that I have seen circling the interwebs for quite a while now. This is the Loreal Root Touch-Up Spray. And I have seen many folks here on the internet using this to create faux freckles. Now, the first person I ever saw do it was Penold. I never know how to say her name right, but she's so cool. I've seen other like YouTube versions of the video circulating ever since. It's become a bit of a technique. So I bought this months ago, planning on trying it, and then I never got around to trying it because quite frankly, I'm a little scared. Because I feel like I'm going to spray it all over me and I'm going to fuck it up and it's going to be a whole mess. But today we're trying new things, so we're going to try this too. I'm going to take off my t-shirt because this is one of my favorite white t-shirts, and if I get brown crap all over it, I'm going to be really sad. So I rewatched some videos on how to use this, and what I saw was people were taking it and spraying it pretty normally, but then kind of letting it taper off, and then it becomes more of like a speckle. Like that. There we go. Okay, let's try it on the face. Okay, that worked, but the first round is very, very subtle, and I'm very glad that I took my t-shirt off too. So I'm gonna try to do the same thing a couple more times and see if we can build up freckles, but I'm gonna zoom in a second and show you guys. It does look freckly, and it is very, very natural. Oh. No! I went too far. This is precisely why I was scared to do this. In this area here, over here, even where it landed on top of my shadows over here, I actually really like the effect that it gives because it does look really like unintentional. So that gives the idea that it's a little bit more natural, but some of it sprayed a little bit too much, and over here it's like more like a splash, and it just looks like a splash of stuff on my face. It doesn't look like faux freckles anymore. I'll probably be able to salvage my eyeshadows and just go about my day wearing those, but I think I'm gonna need to go over like my whole bottom half of my face where it was more splashy, because it just doesn't look like freckles. It just looks like I poured something on my face. But with that being said, I think that if you mastered this technique, it could be really cool. I just think that you're gonna have to practice getting that spray right at like a lot of times before you can be confident that if you do it after your makeup's pretty much done, that you're gonna get it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean up the bottom half of my face and like make this into like a more wearable situation again. But I think that so far, I would call this a failed experiment, but I don't think that it's a bad technique. I think that I just need to practice if I want to use it. Okay, so I went ahead and I took off the bottom half of my foundation and I just redid my skin in that area. And I forgot to contour my double chin, but outside of that, now that I did that, I don't dislike it. I feel like this is a little bit farther than I would have taken it if I had more of a choice in the matter, like if I had a little bit more control over the spray. So I feel like if I could get good at doing them, it might be something that I would do in the future. The last thing I want to try today are these NYX Candy Slick lip colors. They describe it as a glowy lip color. Now, I don't know what that means because I've never seen anything described that way before, but I did swatch them on my hand yesterday and they're almost like like a slippery sort of a gloss. It seems like maybe they might be a stain, and they did feel like very cooling and moisturizing, which was interesting. So I got 2 shades. The orange one is called Sweet Stash, and this more neutral mauve one is called S'mores Please. I'm gonna try Sweet Stash first, and then I'm gonna try S'mores Please after, and we'll see which one I like better with this look. Okay, this is the shade Sweet Stash. This actually looks so pretty with this look. Like, I love that color with the eyes. Ooh, I'm into it. However, one thing I'm noticing is that the corners of my mouth, I'm gonna zoom in, hold on. They're kind of like sticking together. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's like kind of stringy in the corners. And the solution to that is most likely just wear less of it. But the reason that I put, oh God, it's on my teeth now too. The reason I put a lot on to begin with was because I felt like it didn't look even until I got like a really thick coat of it on. Now that I have a thick coat, it's like, it's a little messy and a little gloopy. I don't know, maybe the solution is to wear this over a liner so that you can put less but get better coverage. We'll play around and we'll see. But I like the way it feels and I like the color a lot. All right, now we're gonna try the shade S'mores Please. Okay, that is how S'mores Please looks with this look. I actually love this one. This didn't really need any kind of like special layering or adding too much product to get it to look opaque, probably because it's more close to my natural lip color. But with less of it, I'm not getting any of the negative things that I was getting with the first color, with a ton of it on to make it more even. And it's very comfortable. It looks fantastic. It feels very hydrating and cooling on my lips, and I really like it. So I'm thinking that maybe the more neutral shades in this launch are the way to go. I'm gonna keep playing around with them and let you know my thoughts. I'm gonna try this with a liner and see how that goes, and I will keep you guys posted. But so far, of the 2 of these, S'mores Please is definitely easier to wear, although I do really wanna take pictures wearing the orange one because it looked so vibrant and pretty on camera. Okay, that's everything. So let's recap all the new stuff we used today. The Morphe palette, I think this palette is really good. Honestly, the colors in here are so much fun. They're so like, not what you would really expect usually. Like, you don't really get too many like pukey green heavy palettes that also have warm tones in them and are also very complete because they have all of the right browns and light colors and black and everything else that you really need to complete a look. I really like this palette, and obviously Morphe always comes at a pretty affordable price. So I'm into it, and I'm really glad that I picked this one up. The Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3, I mean, I love BoxyCharm, I love you Tarte, but what is that? If you're somebody who thinks that they would get use out of this palette, please leave me a comment down below and let me know, because honestly, like, I just can't imagine anybody getting use out of it for anything but a highlight shade. And like, everybody already has so many highlight shades from other palettes, I just don't see the purpose. But that being said, the formula is really nice, and Tarte formula usually is pretty nice, so I don't know. The Kiss Faux Mink Lashes in the style Gaia are phenomenal. I saw Jackie Aina use them, and I always listen to Auntie Jackie because she always knows, and she did not disappoint on this one. These are hands down the best drugstore eyelashes I have ever used. The MAC Hyper Real Glow highlight palettes in the new shades, these did not disappoint at all. I'm so excited to have more shades of these in my collection. I love this highlight formula. It's my favorite. I use it every day of my life. I use it in pretty much every video. I use it in pretty much every Instagram look I ever do. These are the best. The Loreal Root Touch Up, as far as faux freckles is concerned, honestly, the jury's out on that one because I fucked it up and I sprayed it all over myself way too hard, like way too hard. But I can see how it would be fantastic if I got it right. It looks very like ununiform and very organic looking, so I feel like you could definitely master this and get like a really good freckle look out of it. I definitely need more practice though. And finally, the two NYX Candy Slick, I guess they're glosses. They don't say gloss, they say glowy lip color. The orange shade is a stunning shade, but I felt like I needed to apply a few layers to get it to be opaque and not like settling into my lines, and then it got really messy, so I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm gonna try it over some liner and get back to you. I feel like this would look super good over Kat Von D A Go Go liner, so I'm gonna try that. And the shade S'mores Please, which I'm still wearing on my lips, is absolutely beautiful. Actually, it's very, very comfortable. It's very, very hydrating. It almost feels like when you put on a water mask, you know, when you put on like those gel water skin masks and you can like feel the water in them. That's how it feels. It smells pretty nice. It's very, very, very comfortable, like so balmy and comfortable. I really like that, but we will play around with it further and come to deeper conclusions as we go along. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of these new products. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have tried any of these, what your thoughts are. Have you tried the L'Oreal Root Touch-Up for Faux Freckles? If you have, please let me know if you like it. Did you master it? Did you make an absolute mess like I did at first? The Hyper Real Glow, do you like those? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. And if you are new here, please go ahead and hit subscribe because I would love to have you around for more videos. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy this video because that really helps me out a ton and I appreciate the hell out of it. If you want to keep up with me between videos, highly recommend that you do. I am at Miss Quinface on every other social media, but the biggest one that you want to follow me on is Instagram. I post new stuff over there all the time. I post close-ups of the looks from this channel. I post lip art that I don't post here on this channel, so it's a little exclusive. And on my stories, we do a lot of behind the scenes, unboxing, and we also plan exactly what's gonna come here on this channel. I run polls, I ask you guys for your input, things like that, give you little sneak peeks, so you might wanna head over there and follow that so you're not missing out. I think that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.